Hey, welcome to my first little webcast of my painting show, JB Fine Art PA. Thank you for joining me. I'd like to go through my little painting process here and paint a nice little picture of Pebble Beach Golf Resort. So we're going to start right now with an 18 by 24 canvas made by Paramount. You can see that on the back there probably. I like the Paramount canvas is the best because they're nice and stretched, pre-primed, and you can order them in bulk and save yourself a little bit of money by ordering them in bulk. So we affix it here to the French easel, and then we're going to take a liquid white from Bob Ross and go ahead and coat the canvas with a thin, even layer of the liquid white. I'm going to do that with, I use a Purdy 3-inch brush from Lowe's. Get that in Lowe's there. And just a little paper plate. And just get some on the big brush. Go ahead and coat the canvas with a nice thin layer. Making sure you get the entire canvas covered. Use horizontally and vertical strokes just to make sure that the entire canvas gets the same coating on it. And you coat this underneath before you get started painting. That way all of your oil paints blend on the canvas. Make some nice transitions, some nice shadows, some nice color blends right there on the canvas and not have to do it on your palette. A little bit more and we should be ready to go. Okay, so here are the colors we'll be working with today. You got phthalo blue, Prussian blue, midnight black, Van Dyke brown, bright red, Indian yellow, and cadmium yellow, and phthalo green. And then we're also going to have some titanium white for the clouds, for the highlights. So let's get started with a little sky. We're going to take the 2.5 angled Purdy brush. I'm going to mix in just a touch of the phthalo blue. Get it evenly spaced out on your brush there. See that? And you just come up and make little X patterns. Your sky. Don't have to cover the entire canvas. It's kind of neat to leave some of those spots open white for when we blend it in coming out. It looks a little more natural, wispy clouds. Just make your little X patterns. Try to determine where your horizon line will be and come down just underneath that. Okay, and then you'll take a clean brush, the 3-inch Purdy that we use to coat the entire canvas. Come back in here and blend it out a little bit. Get all those brush strokes out of there. The sky all together. Same X patterns, a little bigger. And then back and forth horizontally. You get a little brush or a little piece of the brush there, a little bristle on there. Just pick it off while you're going. Another one. And that's the base sky that we'll be starting with. Well, let's add some clouds. For your clouds, you're going to take a little fan brush, little number 6, I believe. Yeah, number 6 fan. And you're going to take your titanium white there. We're going to start with just some white wispy clouds that are up here that are coming down this way. So you're just going to dabble in wherever you think you want your clouds to be. Just like so. Clean off your brush, and then you're going to get the same titanium white. You're going to mix in just a hint with a bright red, so you're showing a little sunlight coming in. Okay, and you go back up here. That way you're getting multi-layered clouds in there, create more depth in what you're doing. And it'll actually look like sunlight. Okay, so now to blend your clouds out, take a little 1-inch brush, a little clean 1-inch brush. I'm just going to make little circles right underneath the top of the cloud, leaving that top layer in, and just blending downward. That way you can still see your top white, which will be the highest point of the cloud, and then everything else kind of blends in. Bigger, clean brush. Lift them up a little bit, just to fluff them. Not straight up, just kind of in a circular motion. And then come back across very, very lightly. Horizontal strokes. Very, 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 very lightly. Very lightly. One little bristle. And get him off. And then there's your wispy little clouds, and we can begin on the mountains, which will be next. But for our mountains, we're going to take a little of the darker blue, Prussian blue, bring it out a little bit, mix in a little of the midnight black, tap it all through the bristles to get it evenly spaced throughout the brush. Doesn't have to be perfectly mixed because you're going to mix it on the canvas on top of that liquid white. Just get it kind of a dark, wispy looking blue there. And then you can come on up. Just decide where your mountain's gonna live. It'll end up looking a little faded because it's way back in the background. If you've ever seen this landscape before on golf, on TV, or if you've ever been lucky enough to go there, the mountain's not straight, it goes way down and it comes up just a little bit toward the end. So you got to be very careful down in here. back up a little bit. Not bad. So then, you're going to take your purdy knife and take out a little bit more of the black. Just pull it flat and then just cut across and get a little bit on the edge there. I'm just going to come in here and kind of mark where you want this land to be. I'll go back over it with highlights, so it'll be alright. Just to get a basic idea of where you're going to want your beach or your land to come down and touch the ocean. And just pull it down little by little, almost just touching, just to get that little bit of paint off of your knife there. Okay, not bad, huh? Okay, next up, we're going to do some water. So we're going to go back to our lighter value. Let's clean off that angled brush again, that angled purdy brush. Get it good and clean. And then we'll go back into the phthalo blue, which is the lighter value blue. We'll probably mix in just some titanium white as we get toward the foreground. So back into that phthalo blue, which is going to be a really, almost like a royal blue, like so. And then we'll put it straight on. Straight on horizontal strokes there, and then as we're getting toward the foreground, toward where we would be standing, I'm going to add some white, but just go ahead. Because it's water, we're going to stay with horizontal strokes. Anything else would just be silly. White in with it. You go on a little bit thicker, it'll start to whiten out a little bit. Makes sense? Okay. It still needs a little more white, I think. So, if you're not truly satisfied with the color right as you lay it on, go ahead and change it up a little bit. Nothing that says you can't. See some of the lines in there, but that's pretty cool because it kind of almost emulates a wave, so we'll leave that in there. Okay? Alright, I believe the next thing we need to do is add a little golf hole, a little land in the foreground. So let's put some highlights on that beach back there first, and then we'll do some foreground, okay? Now what you want to do here, same as you did with the purdy knife. Let's go ahead and clean it off with a paper towel. too much stuff in my hands here. Just clean off your knife there. And then what we're going to do is take, let's say, a mixture of that kind of gold looking color, I forget what I called it, and then some of that white, kind of just marble it together there, and then cut across it and get that same little teeny on the edge there. Then we'll just come back up here and barely touch up in here to put highlights on that dark area you had earlier. The illusion of some sand or some sand or land or something up back in there. You know? Kind of keep some of the darks in there, keep some of the lights in there, and then you're going to scrape all that off, and you'll go with just some white, just a little white, and then you'll put a third value in there. Some highlights. Okay. I think I probably want to keep this up a little bit more up this way since it is a bigger hill. How's that look? Not too bad. Okay. While we're up in those hills, take a little fan brush. If you're not, you know, that's kind of just one little value there. You can kind of come in here and get your darks. And kind of put some extra stuff going on in that mountain. To make it a little more interesting, a little more depth. Like there's some trees coming out. Yeah, like that. Okay. So, what we're going to do, the land, huh? Okay. Still going to keep that fan brush. Just wipe them off, dry them off under paper towel. And then you're going to come get that dark green, phthalo green, I believe is what we're using. Any of the dark greens will work because you're going to use cad yellow on top to make your golf hole. But you're going to come in here, just block in where you want your golf hole to be, somewhere around like in that. Keep the perspective. And you block in your color from there. You'll notice that your green kind of goes on pretty thin. Most of your greens and yellows are very, very thin colors, so you don't need a lot. You're going to layer them more than you're going to get the color right from the get-go, so just make sure. Somebody's buzzing me over there. He won't come off. Come here. There. What do you think? Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. Okay. Okay, so next what we're going to do is the little cliff coming down, some rocks, all the fun stuff, because you get to use a painting knife, which is always the funnest part to me. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your Van Dyke Brown, little painting knife here. We'll start with just the brown and see where we're at from there. You're going to choose, in this particular case, we're going to put it on the back side of the knife just because of the slope of the land coming down. So you're going to snag it on the back of the knife there, grab it, and just bring it down like so. Switch sides on the knife, bring it down. You can leave some of that blue in there because we're going to go over and highlight that as well. While you have your knife, go ahead and make the bigger rock out here. It's like a two-prong little deal. So we're going to go one, two. I'm going to switch to a teeny tiny palette knife. Finish up that rock there. And then you can do, while you're out there, just do some more rocks just jutting out. They're going to be coming off this cliff anyway. Okay. Now go back to that other knife. Remember that marble color we did on the beach back there? Let's make that again. A little darker. Come here and pull some highlights down on these rocks. Like so. And then we'll throw our third color on there, which would be just the white like we did back there in the back, just to give a hint of where some sunshine's gleaming off of there. Okay. Now is an even funner part. Alright, remember the liquid white where you took and covered the whole canvas? We're going to take what's left of our liquid white. We're going to take the 6 fan and then a little teeny fan, and we're going to make our waves. So let's start with the bigger fan right around the rock out here. I'm just going to put some of the liquid white on the fan, and you're just going to tap right around that rock with the corners and let's make it splash and up and out. Very easy to emulate some water with liquid white. Okay. Do the same thing with your smaller fan, that way you get the appearance of a bunch of different little effects happening. Can't all be huge waves, right? Some you'll go right over the brown, some you'll kind of mix in the brown. The more you kind of mix it up, the better it's going to look and give the appearance that, well, actually it looks like you spent a lot of time on there, but that's just a secret between you and me. How's that? Alright, so let's clean our fan brushes and then we'll do some highlights on the green there. Okay, we're going to get started with, there's 2 little bunkers here, a big bunker there, and a big bunker there, so surrounding the green. So we're going to take our little marble color, probably add a little more white, and a little more yellow. Get it a good sandy beach bunker color. That's pretty good. Come right in here. Just add 1 bunker. Like so. Another one right in there, a little small one. Comes up a little bit more. Like so. There's a big one that doesn't like. Like so. Get some of that green out of there. And then the last one's like over in there. Okay. While you're right there, grab just a little line of that dark stuff from earlier, the Prussian and the brown. Kind of do a little edging a little bit. Okay. Now, fan brush. This is the fun part of the grass. Fan brush, cad yellow. It's the little teeny fan brush because it's fun. Fill that bad boy up with some yellow. Now, y'all know, everybody knows that fairway or greens are a little bit nicer than the rest. So you're gonna come down here, cut in your green. You'll probably have to do this a couple of times, but you'll see that it'll take it to the next level as far as depth goes. And just by putting that yellow on there, it mixes with the green and creates that golf looking sort of green. Right, and then you can bring it out there, and we'll just blend that out. Okay, clean that fan brush off. Take your bigger 6-inch fan. We're going to mix that yellow in with some of that green. Get more of a little fairway color. Come out here and kind of blend some of that in. You want to leave some darker areas, some lighter areas, and then take that green, add just a shade of that midnight black, add a shadow in here. It's all about light and shadows, paintings or illusions of light and shadow. Just ask Rembrandt. You can't, he's dead, but you know what I'm talking about. Throw a couple shadows in there as well. Okay, we got 3 more things to do before we can sign this piece is complete. I'm grabbing my little teeny fan, grabbing that little liquid white, barely touching it with the fan. Okay? I mean, you got little teeny white on there. You're going way back in the distance here. Giving the indication of little waves back there. Okay, and immediately you've thrown the distance out there. Second thing, I'm going to take my teeny knife. You can use a couple of different things to accomplish this, but I'm going to use the knife. Here, cut straight down. Just make your pin. I'm going to take a dab of the black. do a little shadow in the hole. And then just grab a little teeny piece of cad yellow on the end of it. Throw in your flag. How you like them apples? Oh, I like them. Let's see. I'm gonna throw that fan brush out of the way. Grab some more of that black. Come in here. Okay. What else? I think oh yeah, we have the brush, the little, I'm going to take, like I said, yellow is one of the thinnest colors, so it's going to be kind of hard to layer on top of the other. So what you're going to do is add a little of that medium ochre or whatever it is, a lot of that yellow. Tap it even on your purdy brush. And that's it. That's the way you do it right there. Now finally, we're at the point where I feel we can sign this thing. So you're going to take your bright red there, thin it down to the consistency of a little ink, and you can sign the bottom corner wherever you'd like. Let me get in the way here. Alright, so that's it. That's the first segment of JB Fine Art PA. I certainly enjoyed painting with you. Hope you enjoyed it as well. And please subscribe to my channel and come back and visit us for part 2, episode 2. Thanks.